Welcome back, this is Luca, and this is going to be a very quick video on firmware update number 1.01 for the Sony A7V. It's a firmware update that didn't break my camera, which you cannot take for granted, so good job there, Sony. And it did fix an issue that I experienced, and I didn't know it was that when I released my first impression video that you will find over here. I mentioned that I was having issue with the Wi-Fi, with transferring files to my phone, and also random turning off and on of the camera, and also battery draining with the camera off the door was totally out of control. I didn't know back then. I realized only after releasing the video that the issue was related to my per gear CF Express Type A. That didn't give me any issue with the Sony A7V, so I didn't even think it could be the cards. But in reality, it was that, because ever since I started using SD cards, SanDisk SD cards, I didn't have any of those issues. So all in all, very good job from Sony. It fixed what was supposed to be fixed. I have no experience with RAW plus HEIF. I don't shoot HEIF files, so Sony mentions there's another bug fixing over there. I cannot speak about that. The only thing I can say is that it didn't break the camera and it fixed the CF Express Type A issue. Another thing that I wanted to mention that doesn't have anything to do with the firmware update is that Capture One finally added support for the Sony A7V, with limited only to the lossless compressed files, which at the end of the day is what I use, so not a big problem for me. This is what I've been using ever since I started using Sony, and this is what I'm gonna keep using, so it's limited to that, but for me it's not a real limitation. And with that, I can finally confirm that the dynamic range on this camera is very wide. But I'm gonna touch on that later. I'm gonna touch on the autofocus in another video that I'm going to push out in a few weeks from now, because I finally was able to test it with birds in flight and stuff like that. But for now, kudos to Sony for fixing those bugs, and ciao, and I'll see you in the next one.